The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Jimbo and Bond take flight. 80s dreams are its delight. In the realm of black and white, movies and TV flow through the stories we all know. Silver screen tales unfold in the magic they bestow. The tragedy of cinema, when memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most.
Slipping, Red. I used to be afraid of that look. The withering glance of the goddess.
I didn't think that alcohol would do... Oh, shut up.
Dinah, stay here.
Oh, please, Mother. Maybe he's going to soccer again.
It's what everybody feels about you. It's what I first worshipped you for from afar.
George, listen.
First, now, and always. Only from a little nearer now. Hey, darling?
I don't want to be worshipped. I want to be loved.
Someday over the rainbow, way up high.
What is this, Connor?
Oh, easy, old man. She's not hurt?
No.
Not wounded, all but dead.
Seems the minute she hit the water, the wine hit her. Now, look here, Connor.
A likely story, Connor.
Hello, Dexter. Hello, George. Hello, Mike.
You have a good mind, a pretty face, a disciplined body that does what you tell it. You have everything that it takes to make a lovely woman except the one essential, an understanding heart. And without that, you might just as well be made of bronze.
And the night that you got drunk on champagne and climbed out on the roof and stood there naked with your arms out to the moon, wailing like a banshee.
I told you I never had the slightest recollection of doing any such thing.
What in the name of all that's holy am I to do?
Tracy.
Yes, Mike.
Old Parson Parsi, he's never seen Kittredge before, has he? Now look, I got you into this thing, and I'll get you out of it. Will you marry me, Tracy?
Whoa, that was weird. All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Jimbo.
And I'm your co-host, Bond.
Bond is back in business, baby. Bond, we got a humdinger for a show tonight, don't we?
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one.
Have you ever seen this movie before? Have you ever seen this movie before I suggested it?
No, I tell you the truth, I'd never even heard of this movie before. But I'm glad you suggested it because it's a great one.
Oh man, it probably stars 3 of the greatest all-time actors and actresses ever, and has one of my personal favorite actors in it, in James Stewart, otherwise known as Jimmy Stewart. And I know Bond's a big fan of.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Jimmy Stewart for sure. And so all these are just classic actors. You could recognize them by their voices. You could recognize them by their names. But let's get started, shall we?
Let's do it.
Oh, wait. Do you have a question for me?
Oh, I do. I have a question.
I was afraid you'd say yes.
So, Bond, what is your favorite Cary Grant movie? Since Cary Grant is co-starring in this, maybe one of the main stars in this. What is your favorite Jimmy Stewart movie? And what is your favorite Katharine Hepburn movie?
Very nice. All right, so let's start.
And it can't be this one because they all are in this one.
I'm going to say Philadelphia Story for all 3, man. I think I think Cary Grant's best role, it's North by Northwest. Alfred Hitchcock movie, great suspense. It's just an amazing movie.
I'm going to have to throw in Arsenic and Old Lace for me for that one.
Very cool, very cool. Katharine Hepburn, I'm going to say African Queen.
It's a great movie.
I love African Queen. I think that's a great one. What about you?
Did you ever see Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
That's a good one, too.
That's a good one. Jimmy Stewart, I'm going to pull one out that probably is not on your list, but I'm going to say Rear Window.
Good, great movie. But,
Jimmy Stewart, Rear Window.
One of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Top 5.
Right.
Of all time.
I agree.
I agree. No, you ain't got to my movie yet. My movie starring Jimmy Stewart, Shenandoah. One of my absolutely top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Excellent, man. And the thing about it is we could have picked a handful of movies from any of these actors and actresses.
Yeah.
The list goes on and
look
on.
at the legacy they left. Unbelievable.
And as I was watching this, I was actually thinking it's kind of a shame that young people today missed this genre of movie. For some reason, we're not 90 years old, but for some reason, we know these movies. We've seen these movies. They've been part of our culture. We're able to appreciate them. I don't think anybody down to the age of 35 knows who these actors and actresses are.
Well, it's like this movie right here. I had never watched it until I picked it out to watch this. You had never watched it, and I'm 47 years old and you're a little bit older than me. So that one slipped by me too. And that's one of the reasons I started this podcast, for movies like this. But Bond,
I agree. This is a great one.
See, Bond was going to throw something at me, but I'm going to throw it back at him. Bond, give me your best Katharine Hepburn impression.
Okay. You ready?
Oh no.
Katharine Hepburn. Well, you just go out there and you see it. You don't do it. You see it. That's terrible.
What about when she's drunk? She's like, "Hello, George."
Hello, George. Hello. Raleigh, I am. Really.
Okay, but if you had to pick between Katharine Hepburn or Audrey Hepburn, which one are you taking?
Audrey Hepburn.
I like Audrey Hepburn more too. I do believe.
There's something. Physically, Katharine Hepburn, beautiful, stunning, golden age. But her cheekbones always bother me.
Well, I am reading her autobiography. It's called Me, I think's the name of it. And I'm about halfway through it. And the love that she had for Spencer Tracy, man, it's amazing. And just some of the stories from her life. If you see, like, she was a cat burglar, like breaking into houses and stuff. It's very interesting. If you ever get a chance to read that book, read it. I know it doesn't have pictures in there for you, Bond, but very good. Very good.
I'll struggle.
Maybe your wife can read it to you before your bedtime or your old man nap in the afternoon.
A chapter a night. We read a chapter a night, and that's all.
All right. You ready to start this party?
Let's do it, man. You're looking at the Philadelphia Story is the name of our movie this week. 1940s. It comes from 1940, American romantic comedy, starring Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and Jimmy Stewart, and Ruth Hussey. You say Hussey or Hussey?
Hussey.
Okay.
It just makes her sound awesome.
I don't want to say Hussey, right? This movie is directed by George Cukor, screenplay by Donald Ogden Stewart, and it's actually based on a 1939 play called The Philadelphia Story by Philip Barry, produced by Joseph Mankiewicz. And let's go into some of the actors and actresses.
Hey, Bond.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what George Cukor was famous for directing?
No, I don't. What?
He was one of the 5, I do believe it was 5 directors of The Wizard of Oz.
Whoa.
And I also believe he got fired maybe from Gone with the Wind.
Oh.
Or he had a hand in it. It was one that I know it was Wizard of Oz for sure. And I think it's in my notes. I think Gone with the Wind is in there too. I think he got fired from it, if I remember right.
So he was a big name. He was a big name director at that time.
Big name director.
Big. He was the Spielberg of the 1940s then. That's interesting. I like that. All right, cool. And let's see. You're talking about the music was done by Fran Waxman. It's an MGM film, of course. This movie came out December 26th, 1940 in New York City. And then January 17th, 41 in the rest of the U.S.
Do you like those, like that trailer we played at the beginning of this? It has a long orchestra soundtrack at the beginning before it started playing the trailer. Do you like those orchestra type music that they play? It's sometimes like in Ben-Hur stuff, it was during the intermission or even at the prologue, you know what I mean? Do you like that type of music in your movies?
I do. I think that, think about it. If they played just the Batman theme before they showed anything, everyone would get excited. If they just play the Jurassic Park theme, if they play just the Harry Potter theme, they don't have to, all they have to do is show Harry Potter, like Hogwarts, and play the music, and everybody would be excited about that movie.
Well, it's like if they let's say they announce a new Star Wars, and on the screen you hear the 20th Century Fox, dun, 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 and then it just goes black, and it says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And if that's all they showed and they didn't play another sound, people are going to lose their mind.
People would clap, people applaud the movies.
Oh yeah,
they don't even know what it's about, but they know that's Star Wars. So yeah, if they play a music like that at the beginning, I'm all for it, man. I think it's great. This one right here. Okay, let's go over some more stats here. It's got a running time of 1:12, and of course this one's in English. Now here's something I had a hard time figuring out. Because this movie is so old, this movie cost $900,000 to make in 1940, which I had a hard time finding the translator to how much that would be today.
Oh, I can look at it for you.
2.2 million.
Let me look. You can go ahead and keep going. I'll let you know.
I don't know, because it was a big hit actually for MGM, because it ended up the box office was 3.3 million, so it more than tripled its money.
And you said it was 1940 what?
In 1940, it was $900,000 in 1940. And when I looked it up, it looked like it was worth, which would be like 2.2 million today.
It looks like $206 million. 206. Wait a minute.
You see?
Wait a minute. I might have had an extra zero in there. Bob's like, what?
You're all, whoa.
How much you say?
$900,000.
$900,000, right?
Yeah, $900,000. And there's no way that, 2.2 million today, I'll buy that, but it just seemed kind of low to me for being a movie that was
20 million
years old.
20 million .665.
Okay, 20 million?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes more sense, I think.
So it's about 20 times.
Yeah, it was a big hit for MGM. The box office was 3.3 million, right? So if you take those same numbers, you're talking, what's that, about
63 million maybe?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it was a big hit for MGM. I'm very glad about that. This is a big one. It stars Cary Grant. Let me hear your best Cary Grant impression.
I got you into this thing, and I'll get you out. Will you marry me, Tracy?
Cary Grant. Cary Grant's real name, and this is it's a good thing he changed it. Its real name is Archibald Leach.
Yep.
Archibald Leach. Of course, he was in movies such as Bringing Up Baby, His Girl Friday, Notorious, North by Northwest, and so many more. I just wrote down a couple of the big ones, right? It also stars, he's plays Dexter Haven. Dexter Haven. And so many times in the movie, they refer to him by his whole name. I'll tell you something else, C.K. Dexter Haven. He referred to him by his whole name all the time.
The only time I ever got referred to by my whole name was when I was in trouble. My mom would yell.
You don't want to hear your whole name.
No.
Maybe that's what it was. Katharine Hepburn plays Tracy Samantha Lord. She's in Bringing Up Baby also, African Queen, and on Golden Pond. James Stewart, plays Macaulay Mike Connor. And his movies are too many to list, but I'll say, how about Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? It's a Wonderful Life, Rear Window, Vertigo, Who Shot Liberty Valance, right? The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And a lot more than that. We also have Ruth Hussey as Elizabeth Liz Embry. She was in, go ahead. Ruth Hussey as Elizabeth Liz Embry. She was in The Great Gatsby with Alan Ladd. And she was also in a movie called Facts of Life with Lucille Ball and Bob Hope, which sounds like something we need to check out.
Oh, yeah.
Right, I'm excited about that one.
I thought she was pretty. I thought she was pretty cute.
Yeah, she was a cutie. I like her. She didn't have enough screen time.
No.
We have John Howard as George Kittredge. He would be called Lost Horizon. We have Roland Young as William Q. Tracy, Uncle Willie. Uncle Willie was creepy in that movie. You don't know about that dude. And he played Watson in 1922 version of Sherlock Holmes.
Wow.
He was Watson. Yeah, with Barrymore.
Was that a silent movie?
It's got to be 1922.
It's got to be right there on the cusp, don't it?
Yeah, I think that's right there at the beginning. We have John Halliday as Seth Lord. I really couldn't find much on him. He was in something called Lydia, a movie called Lydia. Never heard of that one. Mary Nash is Margaret Lord. I think that's the mom. And she was in a movie called Villain with Shirley Temple. She was in a lot of Shirley Temple movies, actually. And then we have my favorite character in the movie, Virginia Wheeler, as Dinah Lord. She's a little girl. She steals every scene. She's my favorite.
Oh, Mom, you think he's going to sock her again?
Every love, she says, everything she does. We'll get into her a little bit later. We have a movie called Love is a Headache with Mickey Rooney. She was in about 40 films, right? She was in about 40 films. She actually retired from movies at age 16. So she hit it big. She hit it hard for like 4 or 5 years. And she's got 40 films under her belt. She retired at 16.
Wow.
Right? She went on to make miniatures for 20th Century Fox.
Huh.
Yeah, so whenever you see like all the special effects and all those things for 20th Century Fox in those early movies,
did you find out like any specific one that she was in for the miniatures?
No, just like I said, just the ones with Mickey Rooney. She was in a lot of Mickey Rooney movies,
Okay.
a lot of little, played little kids in all those movies.
Well, I meant for her special effects.
Oh,
area.
for special effects. No, that'd be nice to look into to see which movies she actually had a hand in making the miniatures for. Of course, she steals the scene by singing Lydia the Tattooed Lady. Lydia the Tattooed Lady was my favorite scene in the whole movie. We have Henry Daniel as Sidney Kidd. We have Lionel Pape as Edward the Footman, and a lot of other people. There is a librarian, a night watchman, those kind of people. Right. This movie was, let's get into it, man. So Tracy Lord, Katharine Hepburn, right? She's the daughter of a wealthy Philadelphia mainline socialite family. She was married to C.K. Dexter Haven, a yacht designer and a member of her social set, but divorced him 2 years prior because, according to her father, he does not meet the standards that she sets for all of her friends and family. So she is now set to marry a wealthy George Kittredge.
All right. What did you think about the opening scene of the movie where you see Cary Grant come storming out and he's going to put his bag in his car and she like throws out his golf clubs and then she takes one and she breaks it over her knee and throws it at him. And he just grabs her by the face, like palms her face and shoves her down. And I said, oh no, where is this movie going? I said, we've already got spousal abuse within the first 20 seconds of this film.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, they could never film that scene today. I was like, it starts with, like you said, it starts with spousal abuse. She like takes her by the face and pushes her to the floor.
Well, because you get these little hints like from Dinah and everything about, oh, mom, is he going to sock her again? So I think the tabloid took that and ran wild with that story because he didn't sock. I mean, don't get me wrong, putting your hands on a woman like that at any point is not right.
Right.
But so them being a reporter, like he's a reporter for Spy magazine now and all that. I didn't know if that story festered into something bigger than it was because of who she was and who he was. You know what I'm saying?
I actually have a side note for that scene. Apparently Katharine Hepburn, she loved filming that scene. She thought it was hilarious. She loved it. And she got along with Cary Grant so well. She actually liked it when he was pushing her through the door.
He didn't hold back on her either.
No. So she had him film that scene over and over again just because she thought it was so funny and so fun that he like pushed her to the ground by her face.
Oh, another thing that you might not know is, when this gets me, Bond, because she's like talking to her fiance, she's like, I'm going to go for a quick swim. Right. And she puts that ball cap up and she goes over to the diving board and she does that dive. That's actually her doing that dive into the water. It wasn't a stunt double. It was actually her. But then she gets out and starts drying off. I was like, when's the last time you said you're going to go for a swim and you just jump in and you get right back out? Why take the time to put the cap on and everything?
It's like a 2-second swim.
Right. I'm going to draw my bath.
That's funny, man. And then, okay, so in New York, meanwhile, like you said, Spy magazine publisher Sidney Kidd, he's eager to cover the wedding. It's a big wedding. A lot of well-to-dos, a lot of social people. So he sends 2 people. He sends a reporter, Mike Connor, which is Jimmy Stewart, right? And photographer Liz Embry. And Mike is not too excited about going on this thing. He wants to consider himself a serious writer, a serious reporter. So he doesn't want to do tabloid TV, tabloid news, if you will. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kidd intends to use the assistance of Dexter, who's been working for Spy in South America. Dexter tells Kidd that he will introduce them as friends of Tracy's brother, Junius, a diplomat in Argentina. But of course, Katharine Hepburn is not fooled by Dexter, tells her that Kidd has threatened her family's reputation with an innuendo-laden article about her father's affair with a dancer. Tracy deeply resents her father's infidelity, which has prompted her parents to live separately. Nonetheless, to protect her family's reputation, she agrees to let Mike and Liz stay and cover her wedding.
There's a whole lot to unpack in this plot. For the time in 1940, talking about the husband running off with the dancer or having an affair with the dancer. Then you have the mom acting like her uncle or her uncle is her husband because he's out of town. And there's a lot to unpack in this plot, but it works.
I agree. I think that they want to, because they're socialites, they don't want all the controversy and all the tabloids. And so they try to cover it up in so many different ways. Finally, Tracy just says, forget it. I know the reporters. Let's just play it up. Let's just let them do what they do. Right? What bothered me was how much Cary Grant hung out around her house.
Yeah.
How often he came over to visit. He's the he's like her ex-husband. Why does he keep coming over?
But you got to remember,
there at the house.
Her mom and Dinah and all of them loved him. They all loved that guy.
True. And so I was like, why is he over there? Why is he always there? Dexter's welcomed by Tracy's mother, Margaret, and teenage sister, Dinah, much to Tracy's frustration. She soon discovers that Mike has admirable qualities and finds his book and short stories in the library. But let's go back to Dinah. Dinah comes in. She knows that he's a reporter and that they're there for a magazine. And she's just always on her tippy toes, dancing around. She's showing off her ability to speak French.
Yep.
And she says, I can play the piano. I can sing. I can sing and play the piano at the same time. And so she runs over to the piano and she sings, Lydia, oh, have you met Lydia? Lydia, the tattooed lady. That's so funny. That whole song just kills me.
I know.
And she's so into it. She's so over enthusiastic. It is hilarious. It's, like I said, my favorite scene in the whole movie. We find Tracy. She's in the library, and Mike's there doing some research. He wants to do some research on the history of the families and those kind of things. And he runs into her. She's there. She's actually reading Mike's book. And she's impressed by it. She likes it. It turns into almost like a love triangle at that moment.
Yep.
Because now you have Mike sees me for more than an object.
Mm-hmm.
He sees her as a passionate woman. He sees her below the surface. He sees her heart, I think they say in the movie. But she still has feelings for Dexter because that was her husband. That was her first husband. And George, poor George, he's there. He's part of the triangle, but he's kind of only there for social reasons. He's only there for status reasons, I think. Do you think George Kittredge loves her?
Are you talking about Jimmy Stewart's character?
Well, no, I'm talking about.
Are you talking about her actual fiance?
Her fiance, yeah, George.
I don't think so. I think to me, it's almost like an arranged marriage, if you will, because it's like two power couples or two power families, hooking up. Now, my question to you is, I forget what's Jimmy Stewart's name in this?
Mike.
Yeah. Now, do you think that he actually liked her, or do you think because Miss Hussey liked him a lot? Mm-hmm. And you can see her getting jealous and angry when he's hanging around. And I don't know, man. It's one of those things because, he kept everything to himself till he gets drunk at the night before their wedding, right? The night before, and they go off and they get drunk and they start professing their love to each other and all that. And it's just, they didn't really tie it all. It was too quick of like an ending for me. Like there was like, it got kind of crazy there towards the end.
I agree. You're talking about the night before the wedding, right? The night before the wedding, right. Tracy becomes drunk and they're hanging out together. She actually ends up kissing Mike.
Yep.
Right. And they take a swim together because that's what she does. She likes to drink and swim. That's her thing.
Yep.
Right. Everybody knows that's what she does. She drinks and swims. So they go for a George, of course, he's carrying her back to the house, right? She's passed out drunk, and Jimmy Stewart's character's carrying her back to the house. And who's there? Her fiance and her ex-husband are standing there waiting.
Weird.
That is so awkward, right?
Yep.
And one of my favorite scenes is, and you even said it earlier, the way she says hello to all three of those guys
is different each time she says it.
Exactly. That's what's great about it. It's like, hello, George. Hello, Dexter. Hello, Mike. You can tell by like where her passion's like. But I love the scene. Like I agree with you. It moves a little fast, but I love this where Jimmy Stewart's holding her, and he's got her arms, and he's holding her close, and he's telling her like she's more than just a shell. She's more than just a statue. She's more than just a queen. She's more than just a status symbol. She's got a heart. She's got feelings. He can feel her passion when she speaks. And she says, stop talking and kiss me, or something like, something to that effect. Stop talking. No, keep talking. Keep saying those words.
Yep.
No, stop talking.
It's because he's pointing out everything that she's always wanted people to see in her, but nobody has ever saw in her.
Even her father comes in and says pretty much, you're just a statue. You're just a status. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what everybody's. I mean, she's getting married for her position as a socialite. She's not getting married out of love, and this is the first guy that's actually like you've said, seen her love, seen her with her feelings behind her heart. I don't think. That being said, I don't think Jimmy Stewart loves her.
I don't either. I think he's infatuated with her. Exactly. Yep.
He's swept up in the moment. He loves.
I hope he ended up with his business partner or whatever, the photographer lady.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Sweet.
It was Miss Hussey, right?
Liz Embry.
Liz. Yeah, Liz.
Yeah, Liz Embry liked her. I don't know. Well, let me close this out, right? So she admits that she has no excuse for getting caught right before. She realizes that he doesn't really know her, and he's loved her. He loves the ideal of her. I think that's what it is. It's like George Kittredge loves the idea of who she's supposed to be, loves the fact that she's supposed to be this perfect little angel. So people are lined up waiting for her to get married. The wedding is supposed to be happening, and she calls it off. She calls it off, but it's too late. People are at the wedding. They're waiting for a wedding to happen. The guests are arriving. They're waiting for a ceremony. And Jimmy Stewart steps up and says, well, then marry me. He steps up. He says, marry me. Dexter, this was a weird ending for me.
That's what I said. He got real jumbled right there.
Yeah, Dexter comes, you know what? No, remarry me. And he says, okay, I'll do it. I'll remarry the guy who pushed me in the face in the first minute of the movie.
That to me was like the most unbelievable part of this movie. I wish they would have focused a little bit more on the ending because, man, up to that point, it was such a great movie. I mean, such a great movie. And then, you know, because she was going to go out in front of, because she goes in front of all the wedding people, out in front of everybody and starts giving this speech. And then she gets called back over, right? And that's when they go behind the doors and they have this whole thing. And I was like, because I do believe they said, hey, does whoever know what George Kittredge look? Does have they ever even met him? And I think that's where Mike says, hey, I got you into this mess. I'll get you out of it. Or Cary Grant did one of them. And that's, you know, basically, I'll just say I'm George Kittredge. We'll get married, but it's really me again. That's what I took away from it. I just wish they would have fleshed that out a little bit more for me because it gets really, it's just weird.
Do you think that's part of the times though? Like, is that a 21st century mentality looking at a 1940s movie?
Maybe.
Because back then people got married like without dating very long, without seeing each other very long.
Right. But so, not when you were just necking with the guy the night before that you said saw in you things that nobody else had saw.
And I guess she rationalizes that by saying, you know, you don't love me, Mike.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am. And so she doesn't do that. And
I think she still had feelings for CK too. You could tell, you know, and maybe the whole thing at the beginning did get blown out of proportion. And yet she had to keep up those walls and guard because of the media and who she was and from the family she was in, especially with her dad. If he's out, you know, with the dancer in New York or whatever they said, her life's probably miserable.
I love the scene with the mother, and she's like, set one more for dinner. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And then somebody else walks in. Let's set another one for dinner. Yes, ma'am. It's like, it's a poor guy.
Yeah, and then when her dad walks in, it's like, oh, uncle. They're like, what?
Well, he's like, what?
He's like, what's going on here? Oh, yeah. It has some comedic.
Put it this way, man. Here's something. This film has a 100% rating
on Rotten Tomatoes.
On Rotten Tomatoes. 100%.
I saw that. I was floored.
It's considered the best romantic comedy of all time by Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
So if anybody out there, which is most people, I'm assuming, have not seen this movie, and you're a big fan of romantic comedies, you haven't seen the best romantic comedy of all time.
So
here's some awards. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
This film was nominated for 6 Academy Awards. Okay. It was nominated for Outstanding Production, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Screenplay. It actually won 2 awards. Right? Jimmy Stewart won for Best Actor.
Yep.
So there's his first Oscar, I bet. And it won for Best Screenplay. So it won 2 Academy Awards. National Film Preservation Board and National Film Registry, it was inducted into that Hall of Fame. New York Film Critics Award, it was nominated for Best Film. And Katharine Hepburn actually won for Best Actress in New York Film Critics. So it does have some awards. It was considered the best movie of the year by Life magazine.
Yep.
In 1941. Best movie of the year. So I thought that was pretty good.
And that's crazy because I had never even heard of it. Well, I mean, I've heard of it, I think, but I'd never paid it any attention. You know, I was like, why do I care what's happening in Philadelphia? Basically,
I think it's got a terrible title. That's
right.
The title has nothing to do with the movie.
Right.
Philadelphia plays no role in this movie at all.
Well, it does because I think, remember when they're at the reporting office, I think they said something about, well, we'll give them a Philadelphian story or something like that, remember? But to me, they could have come up with something a lot better.
Right. According to my notes, Jimmy Stewart was actually, a lot of people felt that he was given the Academy Award for this movie because he should have won it the year before.
He should have. Was that Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, I think?
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. He was nominated. He did not win. And a lot of people felt he got robbed that year.
Well, he said that, you know, he didn't think he deserved it for this film. He thought that it should have went to Henry Fonda for Grapes of Wrath for this year. So yeah, it was probably a oops, we messed up. He wasn't even going to go to the award ceremony, but he got a call saying, hey, you might want to come to the awards tonight because that's back when
and have a speech ready.
That's back before they had have it locked up, the winners locked up or whatever, that they knew who was going to win beforehand. So,
yeah.
All right. You ready for some trivia,
anyway,
Bond?
So that's what I have. That's what I have on the Philadelphia story, man. That's what I have.
All right, here we go. So the film was shot in just 8 weeks, which is amazing considering everything that happens. And they didn't have very many retakes. That just goes to show you the stellar performances of the cast. But you remember where the scene where Jimmy Stewart hiccups when he's drunk? You can see Cary Grant looking down and grinning because it wasn't scripted. Grant was on the verge of breaking out laughing and had to compose himself quickly. Stewart, apparently spontaneous, thought of hiccuping in the drunk scene without telling Grant. When he began hiccuping, Grant turned to Stewart saying, "Excuse me, the scene required only one take." I mean, I don't know how he didn't break character, man, because I would probably lose it. Cary Grant demanded top billing and $137,000 salary, which was a huge amount at the time. It was the equivalent of $2.86 million in 2020. So that's probably went up to over $3 million now. But as it turned out, he donated his entire earnings to the British War Relief Fund. And I've heard that about a couple of times, a couple of movies of Cary Grant's where he just donated all that money away, which my hat's off to you, buddy. That's amazing, man.
If you remember, the budget for the movie was $900,000. So you're talking, 15% of the budget was just his salary alone.
Yeah. Katharine Hepburn, she deferred her salary for 45% of the profits.
45%?
45%. So I think she made a wise choice there, don't you? I mean, what do we say?
Why would they agree to 45%? Why would MGM agree to that?
Well, you got to remember, Bond, she had the rights to the play. She owned the rights to the play. So, hey, you either give me this or you ain't getting this movie. So, I mean, they still made some money, I'm sure.
True.
But she starred in the Broadway production of the play of this film was based on, and she owned all the film rights to the material. They were purchased for her by billionaire Howard Hughes, then given to her as a gift. Hey, here you go. I know you were in this play. Here, take these. You got all of it.
Here, now you own the play.
So as I said earlier, Jimmy Stewart had no plans to attend the Oscar ceremony the year he was nominated for this film. But just before the ceremony began, he received a call at home advising him to slip into a dinner jacket and attend the ceremony. He did, and he received the award for Best Actor. This was in the days before an accounting firm kept the Oscar voting results secret. So somebody let him know, hey, you better get here. The original play was actually written specifically for Katharine Hepburn. Playwright Philip Berry wanted to woo the actress back to the stage after she had received disastrous reviews for the play The Lake on Broadway. So he's trying to, hey, I need you back. Jimmy Stewart wasn't at all comfortable with some of the dialogue, especially in the swimming pool scene, which also required him to act in a dressing gown. He said at the time that if he'd play the scene in just a swimming costume, it would have been the end of his career. Cary Grant was given the choice of which of the two male lead roles he wanted to play. Surprisingly, he chose the less showy part. So, attaboy. Spencer Tracy turned down Jimmy Stewart's role because he was eager to make Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in 1941. Do you like Spencer Tracy movies?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, Spencer Tracy's awesome, man. Jekyll and Hyde's actually a pretty good choice. I'm glad he did that.
In his autobiography, Donald Ogden Stewart wrote that the original play was so perfect, adapting it was the easiest job he ever had to do in Hollywood, which that's why it should be. But the play on Broadway, it ran for 415 performances, making nearly $1 million at the box office. It then went out on tour for another 250 performances and an additional $750,000 in box office receipts. So you got to remember back then, yeah, you could go to the movies, but the theater was a big thing back then. A lot of your actors actually were in theater before they became movie stars.
Was Katharine Hepburn the star in the play also?
Yep.
Did she do all of those 400 plus performances?
Yep. Katharine Hepburn played opposite Joseph Cotton in the role played by Cary Grant in the film, Van Heflin, the Stewart role, and Shirley Booth, the Ruth Hussey role. Ann Baxter played the younger sister. Katharine Hepburn had become interested in James Stewart for the part of the newshound ever since the actor had received accolades and an Oscar nomination for his portrayal of idealistic senator in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington the previous year. So she's like, hey, this guy's good. I need to have him in one of my movies. So, like I said, her dive was the real thing. No doubles were needed. When Tracy Lord mentions the Chinese poet who drowned trying to kiss the moon's reflection in a river, she is referring to Li Po, also known as Li Bai, who, according to legend, drowned while reaching from his boat to grab the moon's reflection. And all I could think of is, you want the moon, Martha? I'll give you the moon. I'll tie a lasso and pull it right down to you.
That's awesome. That's true. That's true.
This played at radio. See, this is where it gets interesting because it says it played at Radio City Music Hall for 6 weeks, breaking the previous attendance record set in 1937 by Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It grossed over $600,000 in that one location alone.
Wow.
That's crazy.
How much the tickets were. That's crazy.
Not only that, but I mean, how many theaters did it show in? There wasn't that many theaters probably like there are today.
No.
At the final performance of the Philadelphia Story on Broadway, Katharine Hepburn stopped the stagehands from lowering the curtains at the end of the show so that, quote, the final curtain will never fall on the Philadelphia Story, end quote. This is shocking right here, but this is the only movie that Cary Grant and Jimmy Stewart made together.
I wonder why. They had great chemistry in this movie.
Man. But I don't know if they were under different contracts from different companies at that time or something, but
might have been.
Man, them two together were fantastic.
It didn't, when they were on the screen together, it didn't seem like they were trying.
No, it's like they were just long lost friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was just all their scenes were so natural. They just played off each other so well.
Yep. Katharine Hepburn refers to the words used to describe the moon goddess, chaste and virginal, as foul, and with good reason. The censors would not have allowed such verbiage in another context. Over a decade later, use of the word virgin was still banned under the Hays Code, provoking a major controversy and legal battle when the 1953 comedy, quote, The Blue Moon is Blue, chose to include the word. So had those censors back then. Mm-hmm. Before shooting the scene, when Connor, says his poetry to Tracy, Jimmy Stewart was extremely nervous and certain he would perform badly. Coincidentally, Noel Coward was visiting the set on that day and have been asked to say something to encourage Stewart by George Cukor. Coward offhandedly said something to Stewart like, "Did I mention I think you're a fantastic actor?" Stewart shortly thereafter performed the scene without a hitch and went on to win the Oscar for Best Actors.
Nice.
Katharine Hepburn asked MGM to cast Clark Gable as Dexter and Spencer Tracy as Mike before she met either of them. Both Gable and Tracy were busy with other projects, so Jimmy Stewart was cast instead. MGM chief Louis B. Mayer allowed Hepburn a $150,000 salary towards casting the other male role. Cary Grant agreed to do the role for $137,000. So they're having her pick out, hey, who do you want to be in the movie? Here's $150,000 to go find somebody. I know she did. Some think, with director George Cukor on board, Katharine Hepburn's first choice of co-star Clark Gable was never going to be a possibility because Gable allegedly had Cukor fired from Gone with the Wind in 1939 because he detested the director's obvious homosexuality. In reality, Cukor was dismissed from Gone with the Wind because of repeated clashes with the film's producer David Selznick, and Gable was simply busy with other projects at the time this film was made. So I knew I read something in there about.
I think they made a great choice with this one. I mean, I don't think it would be that good of a movie. I just don't think it'd be that big of a movie.
I just don't think I can see Clark Gable and Spencer Tracy together with Katharine. I can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a struggle.
Yeah. The film was remade as the Cole Porter musical High Society in 1956, starring. This is going to be another good one. Grace Kelly in Katharine Hepburn's role, Frank Sinatra in Jimmy Stewart's role, and Bing Crosby playing Dexter, who is just Cary Grant's role. Now that might be really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one.
Cary Grant keeps calling Katharine Hepburn Red. Her natural hair color is in fact red. The film was the 5th most popular movie at the U.S. box office in 1941. This is ranked number 5 on the American Film Institute's list of the 10 greatest films in the genre of romantic comedy. Alan Rickman, you know who Alan Rickman was?
I do.
Give us who was he so the audience knows.
Oh, okay. Alan Rickman is Snape. Isn't that Snape?
Snape, and it was also
in Die Hard.
Hans, whatever his name was, whatever.
Hans Gruber.
He named this as one of his favorite romantic films. Julia Roberts has stated that this is her favorite film and can never be remade because it is perfect. Katharine Hepburn performed the dive in the swimming pool shot years later during the making of On Golden Pond in 1981. She encouraged co-star Jane Fonda to perfect her own diving scene and shared anecdotes about the making of this film. Although George Cukor was not usually a very physical director, Katharine Hepburn incorporated some of his mannerisms into her performance, which he probably incorporated some of her mannerisms into his directing, I would say. These are cool. If you could find these, I wonder if you can. You might be able to find them on YouTube or something. But the Screen Guild Theater broadcast a 30-minute radio adaptation of this movie on March 17, 1947, with Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, and Jimmy Stewart reprising their film roles.
I would love to hear that.
Lux Radio Theater broadcast a 60-minute radio adaptation of the movie on July 20, 1942, with Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, Jimmy Stewart, Ruth Hussey, and Virginia Wilder reprising their film roles. So there's another one here too somewhere. I forgot where I saw it though. Howard Hughes had difficulty selling the film rights to Philadelphia Story in Hollywood. Although the stage version was written especially for Katharine Hepburn, she was deemed box office poison. Dave Selznick wanted it as a vehicle for Betty Davis, and MGM wanted it for Joan Crawford. So here we go with the Crawford and Betty Davis feud. Warner Brothers made it an offer if it could cast Ann Sheridan in the lead role. Hepburn would not allow Hughes to sell the rights without her. So she's like, "Hey, you bought those for me. You're not selling them."
Yeah. No other woman's going to play the lead role.
It's me. Included among the American Film Institute's 2000 list of the top 100 funniest American movies. Did you laugh at this movie any?
Yeah, there were like I said, there was a couple scenes that I thought were.
Dude, that drunken scene is pretty funny, man.
The drunk scene's great. Like I said, when Dinah comes out, I just thought that scene was hilarious. I really like the photographer.
I love her.
I thought she was great.
Yeah.
So any scene with her, I thought was pretty good too. I thought Uncle Willie was kind of creepy, but other than that,
and you know what? I usually don't say this about movies, but I think the wardrobes were spot on. Like the outfits, like when she's in the library, remember with the hat thing on or whatever she had. just the different stuff like that. I thought it was fantastic. Jack Warner at Warner Brothers offered to make this film, and guess who he wanted as C.K. Dexter Haven?
Who's that?
Earl Flynn.
No.
Yeah, he wanted the old Robin Hood to play. He could have done it. He was a man's man. This is included on the 1001 movies you must see before you die. It is indicated that Dexter was an alcoholic, implied that he spent time in alcohol sanitariums, the forerunner of today's rehab. This is one of the causes of their initial divorce. So you can put two and two together there. Theater Guild on the Air broadcast a 60-minute radio adaptation of this movie on April 4th, 1948, with Jimmy Stewart reprising his film's role. So if you could ever, I love listening to old radio shows like that. So if you could find those would be great. In an interview with James Baldwin that appeared in the book They Made the Movies, George Cukor spoke about how the film came to be after he finished Holiday in 1938. Katharine Hepburn had to go back to Hollywood in Philadelphia Story, and she had Howard Hughes buy the movie rights for her. She resold it to MGM on condition I direct, but her choice of co-stars Clark Gable and Spencer Tracy were turned down by Louis B. Myers for Cary Grant and Jimmy Stewart. Stewart won an Oscar third billed, which I don't think has ever happened. The movie worked far better than the play, which was ragged. Scriptwriter Donald Logan Stewart ditched the brother and built up Grant's part and successfully turned it into a three-character love story. Only Cary wasn't even nominated, and he's the best of the bunch. And there were no more Hepburn Grant films after that. A character named Tracy wandered into Kate's life. So that's when Spencer Tracy came in, and basically they did all those movies together. But I wish Cary Grant would have done a lot more with her too. I think they were great together.
I agree. This is a virtually unknown movie today, but apparently there was a good 7-8 year run where this movie was everywhere. This Philadelphia Story was everywhere.
Yep.
It was on Broadway. It was in the movie theaters. It was on the radio. So it really made its mark at the time. It's just one of those things that have kind of disappeared.
The old yo-yos were a popular juvenile pastime when this film was released. The Duncan Company, which became synonymous with the toy, was launched in 1929 and is still trading as of 2021. So, did you ever have the yo-yo? Could you walk the dog and cross the bridge and dress the turtle or whatever?
I could make the yo-yo go. I could make a yo-yo go down.
You never get it flick back up, could you?
Sometimes it would come back up halfway.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. I don't know what trick that's called.
This film is part of the Criterion Collection. It's in spine number 901 if you ever want to look it up. The reoccurring word in this movie is yar. As Bonnevie knew what yar was. It's a nautical term describing a vessel that is not just seaworthy, but quick to the helm, swift, stable, and responsive to the wind, handsome to the eye, and under sail that draws one to it and keep them coming back. As Tracy says, everything a boat should be, which if you take that, it kind of like how the movie ended up with her going back to the boat, which is basically CK, if you think about it. When Hepburn snaps the wooded shafted golf club, it appears to break further up the shaft than where she was applying the pressure. This appears to occur completely natural, as if it would break precisely on her thigh if it had been weakened by the prop department beforehand to make it easier for her to break. So the film made its New York television debut on Channel 2 on the 25th of June, 1960. It was a Saturday night. At about 1 hour into the movie, Macaulay, who is quite drunk, tells Dexter he will have another drink. Dexter's reply is, "Coals to Newcastle." Do you know what that means? Coals to Newcastle.
No, I don't. What does that mean?
It's an old British saying referring to something that is redundant and excessive, such as transporting coal to the coal mining town of Newcastle. So I didn't know what it meant either, so I'm glad I found that. All right, Bond. Tell me your thoughts, feelings, ratings, reviews, feelings, dislikes.
I went a little apprehensive. I've never heard of this movie before, but I was excited when I found out who was in it. It's entertaining. It's funny. I don't I'd put it up as the funniest romantic comedy of all time, but that's because it's been 85 years since it came out. So I think that will affect it. I liked it. I thought it was great. I would watch it again tonight. I would watch it again right now. I'm going to give it, let's go 8.5, 8.5 out of 10. I think that it's right up there. It's entertaining. It's funny. And the actors and actresses in this movie are all top notch. And that's what really sells it for me.
Well, even the not the main cast, even the sub characters are great in this movie.
Exactly. And so that's why I'm saying 8.5, because it's right up there. It's a great movie.
Right. So I told my wife, I said, "Hey, you want to have a movie night?" I said, "We're going to watch this old movie." And I didn't tell her it was for the podcast. I just said, "We're going to watch this movie." So I put it on, and it starts off with them shoving her in the face. I said, "Oh no, this might end up in a fight tonight before this is over with." And we're watching it, and she's laughing, she's enjoying it. And then the ending came, and we watched it, and man, I was like, man, this is a messed up ending. And so I asked my wife, I said, "Well, did you like it?" She said, "Yeah, up until the ending." So if that's coming from my wife, and I saw it, I'm sure many other people saw the ending and was like, you could have done something better. But again, Jimmy Stewart, one of my favorites. Cary Grant, one of my favorites. Katharine Hepburn, she's okay. She's not one of my favorites, but she is a great actress. That supporting cast is fantastic. I laughed. It's kind of a feel-good movie. At the end, you see the struggle between all three people. You see Jimmy Stewart's character get wrapped up, maybe from a drunken stupor, or maybe just it's the first time that he's actually had a lady talk to him like that, and he's pointing out things that I think that he was pointing out things that he saw in her that he saw in the photographer, because them two were like inseparable, and you could see the way the photographer looked at him, that she was getting mad when he was going off, and then when she asked about getting married, and she just looked like, well, what am I, chopped liver, basically. But yeah, I'm right there with you. It's at least an 8.5. It's a fantastic movie. I'm going to have to watch it again because I don't want to make sure I didn't miss anything. If I paid more attention, maybe I would have got more of where they were going with the story. But when you start off with the shock value, when he goes slamming doors and throwing his clubs, and then he shoves her in the face after she breaks his golf club, you kind of took by that. So it took a minute to get back into the story here. And also when they said that he worked for Spy Magazine, all I could think of was Spy versus Spy. You remember the old comic?
Oh,
the
yeah,
Spy
like
versus
a Bad
Spy
magazine almost.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely a great movie. And I hope if nobody has ever watched this movie, that they at least give it a chance. Watch it at least once. You'll be glad you did. And it stars some of the greatest actors of all time. So, but if you liked what you heard, we are the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. You can find us on Facebook. I'm on there. Bond's on there. Kyle's still on there. ADZ's on there. We have a good time. If you got anything you want us to cover, you can shoot us an email at thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com. If you want to be a guest on the show, go ahead and email us too. We'll have you on. We'll set up something, Zoom call, and you can join us. Bond, you got anything else to add?
No, I agree with you. If you have not seen this movie, you need to watch it. It's just a great movie. Leave us your review. Let us know what you think. Check it out. Let us give us a report on what you think about this movie too.
And this just in, Bond said that if any of his students watch this movie, that they automatically get an A and don't have to come to class the next day. Well,
they can drop their lowest test grade.
Whoa, here we go. We're making deals.
Making deals. Not an A for the class, but I'll let you drop your lowest spelling test grade. How about that?
Look at this. We're gonna have all kinds of followers now. Fifth graders or whatever they are, seventh graders. I don't know what they are now. All right. Well, with that being said, I think this episode's coming to close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.
The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. Those we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. To the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema.
If you made it this far, please make sure to tell Bond that his mic is still hot when we start playing the outro and he's like, woo! Till next time.
I kept it clean.